One guy tried to copy Michael Burry. Another got crushed by a $6.5 million margin call. Here's everything you missed on Wall Street these last few weeks. This trader just got hit with a $6.5 million margin call, all because he tried to get fancy with a credit spread on NVIDIA. He sold 225 NVIDIA $320 puts and bought $290 puts for protection. That's called a put credit spread, designed to earn small, steady profits as long as NVIDIA stays above $320. He thought he was playing it safe, but he had no idea how option assignments actually work. When NVIDIA dropped, someone exercised early on those $320 puts, so he got assigned to buy 22,500 NVIDIA shares, worth over $7.2 million. His account immediately went negative $6.5 million. Robinhood flagged him with a margin call, and he literally said, "I have no idea why I got exercised." Here's the lesson. Credit spreads can limit risk if you actually understand assignment risk and have the collateral to back it up. Otherwise, your safe trade can turn into a multi-million-dollar disaster. The market's bleeding red again, and somewhere Michael Burry is smiling. But while everyone's panicking, one trader just cashed out after holding the same position for over 15 years. He bought it back in 2010, right after the financial system almost collapsed. Banks were failing, people were pulling cash from ATMs, nobody wanted stocks, and he thought, if capitalism survives, this will pay off big. So he went all in, triple leveraged on SPXL. He planned to hold for maybe a year or two, but instead, it turned into 15. 15 years of chaos, crashes, and rallies. At one point, he was down over 30%, but he never sold. And through it all, he collected $40,000 to $60,000 a year in dividends alone. Now, after a decade and a half, he finally hit sell. He saw red days, green days, but he proved one thing. Time in the market beats timing the market. This trader watched The Big Short and decided to blindly follow Michael Burry. He's down $54,000 in 1 month. A 96% wipeout, all while blaming Burry. And honestly, Burry might have seen that post because not long after, he dropped this letter. He's shutting down Scion Asset Management. In the letter, he says his view of value hasn't been in sync with markets for some time. And while Wall Street Bets has its own way of describing this, it basically means Burry doesn't trust this market right now. So this trader blew up his portfolio copying Burry when, honestly, he should have rewatched the movie before going full send. With a market this volatile and unpredictable, one that even Burry is stepping away from, what's your plan? He did, and it's painful. After Meta's earnings dump, this trader thought it would bounce. So he went all in, $3,690 calls expiring November 21st. But instead, Meta just kept sliding, as investors fear the AI bubble might finally pop. He decided to cut his losses early, closing out at just $2,100. That's a 91% hit. Someone in the comments said he should have bought Leaps instead. But another user replied he did. And it didn't help. He's down more than $84,000 on 33 contracts. But here's the twist. Analysts still see Meta averaging around $840, with some targets above $1,100. Right now, it's trading near $615, right at the bottom of that range. So, are you buying the dip or staying on the sidelines? Imagine finally owning 100 NVIDIA shares back in May and still missing the entire rally. After months of saving, this trader finally bought 100 shares of NVIDIA. His plan was simple. Run the wheel, sell weekly calls, and collect that premium. But when he opened the options chain, he saw those far-dated calls with juicy premiums and thought, why wait week to week when I can lock this in now? So, on May 13th, he sold 130 strike calls expiring in November, right as NVIDIA was trading around $129. Fast forward to today, NVIDIA's at $208 and his calls are deep in the money, worth $7,800 against his $1,700 credit. He'll still walk away with about $1,700 profit, but he's missing over $7,000 in upside. The wheel only works when you keep it short term. Go too far out and you're not selling premium, you're selling your upside. Warren Buffett just saved this trader's portfolio, and the guy didn't even know it yet. So yesterday, a Wall Street Bets user posted a brutal loss update. He said he'd been getting clapped all week, calling it the biggest overreaction he'd ever seen. He was down $89,000 on Google call options. Not short-term YOLOs, these were $295 calls expiring in February 2026. For him, this red week felt like the end of the world, especially with Google trading around 276 when he posted. But a few hours later, the entire narrative flipped. Berkshire Hathaway's 13F filing dropped. They had quietly built a $4.3 billion stake in Google, instantly making it their 10th largest position. Turns out Warren Buffett agreed with him and put billions behind that conviction. So it looks like Buffett basically saved his calls, at least for now. And tell me, when moves like this drop, do you follow Buffett's lead or do you stick to your own playbook? Guess how much this trader's down over 5 years? While the market's taking a well-deserved breather after an insane bull run, this trader somehow managed to lose money during one of the strongest runs in history. He's down $73,000. That's a drop of 95%. And to make it worse, one comment nailed it. If you just put it in the S&P 500 and gone to sleep, you'd have $171K today. So please consider that you actually lost $171,000, not $73,000. Sorry to break it down to you, but hey, at least you've got experience now. He lost $223,000 this month. Reddit user Skrilly Vanilli just posted his devastating loss on Wall Street Bets. He says he was up over $300,000 this year, but got greedy. Kept buying the same calls that made him rich until they didn't. Dutch Bros, United Health, Novo Nordisk, all red. His only winner, Centene Corporation calls, up about $30,000. He tried to laugh it off, saying he'd end up behind the Wendy's dumpster, but even Wendy's is closing stores. It's the kind of humor you use when the pain's too real. He admits it himself, greed got the best of him. It made him rich, then it took everything back.